So I actually have a new kid. I have a son. He's 9 months old. Thank you. We just did it from fucking. You can do it too. It's totally easy. But here's the thing. I never thought I would have a kid. And I used to do a joke in my act where I said I would never have a kid. And that's because I used to hate it when comedians would change because they have kids. You know what I mean? You'd see like some edgy guy on HBO and he'd be super funny. And then the next time you'd see him, he'd be talking about his kid and he'd totally change. He'd be pussified. He'd be like, I looked into my baby's eyes and I saw how precious life is and bleh. I hate it when guys do that. So I used to say in my act, if I ever do that, if you ever see me on stage talking about my baby, and I'm like, my baby is so precious and bleh, I used to say, if I do that, I want you to punch my baby. But now I have a baby, and I would like for him to remain unpunched as long as possible. I know having my genes, that's not going to work out. He's going to be around 12 or 15, and somebody's going to go, shut up, fag, punch, because it happened to Daddy, so it'll happen to him. But I'd like for that to, hold that off as long as possible. And I'm just afraid somebody's going to hold me to it. Somebody's going to see me in a mall and come up like some fat nerd's going to go, you said fucking punch. And my baby's going to be like, why? Why'd that guy with the pot tits and the Spider-Man shirt punch me, Daddy? And just so you know, I'm ready for it now. Nobody is ever going to punch my baby. Because from now on, whenever I leave the house, he's in the front of me on a baby Bjorn, and I'm swinging an aluminum bat. So if you get in there, God bless you, but you're not getting away. And also, that's the way I'm prepared for the zombie apocalypse. Oh, I'm ready. I've thought about it. Any other zombie fans? I know how, yeah. I am so ready. I've thought about it my whole life. Here's what I'm going to do. If zombies come to LA, that's going to be awesome. But what I'm going to do, you can't stay in your house too long. You can only defend your house for so long, right? So as soon as it's zombie time, I'm going mobile. And I'm going to take the baby and the baby Bjorn. He's going to be sitting right out front. And then I'm going to tape a knife to my aluminum bat. And then I'm going to have my wife on my back in a baby Bjorn with 2 shotguns. And it's going to be the most fucking kick-ass thing you've ever seen. But because I'm so out of shape, I'll last like 5 minutes. And I'll be like, could you zombies hold up for a second? And then brains dead. But you'll be like, that was really awesome. Did you see that fat guy fight all those zombies before he cracked his back in half and filled his pants full of poo and collapsed in a pile of duh? That was awesome. Now, I was surprised when my wife said we were even having a kid. I was like, that is awesome. You're going to make a great single mom. And I don't mean to be mean, but it's just because I'm getting old. I'm 30-13. I'm an old dad, and I'm so out of shape. Like, I don't have a joke about this, but this happened to me last week. I hit a speed bump too fast, and parts of my body moved independently of each other. Like, this tit was like over here. This tit jumped out the window. My gut was like just sort of hovering for about 5 seconds. It's time to do a sit-up, you fat fucking fuck. And I just used to worry about bringing a kid into this world. I used to think this world was kind of a messed up place because I was a pessimistic kid. And now the world kind of is messed up, So some of my friends are being pessimistic. When I told them I was having a baby, they're like, God, how could you have a kid now? It's 2012 is coming. The Mayan calendar ends and the apocalypse happens and they made that shitty movie. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't think the world is going to end in 2012. But I hope it doesn't, because my kid will only be 3. He won't even be able to say the apocalypse. He'll be like, Daddy, the Acapopitz is here. And I'll be like, that's adorable. Whoosh, skeletons. Oh, we had such a sweet moment before the Acapopitz happened. So this is already weird. People coming in, people drinking, it's loud. You guys are way more into it than the sitting people. But now I'm about to lose whoever else was still into me because I usually try my jokes out on my wife, except for this one. I don't know why I'm doing this. I masturbated while my baby cried. No, I told you. Hold on. It's not what you're picturing, though. That's awful. Why are you picturing that? No, I masturbated while my baby cried, but it's not like we were in the same room together. That's fucking horrible, right? It's not like he was next to me in the bassinet and I'm shoving the pacifier back in his mouth like, shut the fuck up. Like, that's not what happened. Don't get grossed out. That's not what happened. Instead, he was like on the other side of the house with the babysitter, and I'm in my office or my nerd cave getting work done. And the baby was crying, and I'm like, shut up, because only daddy can cry while he masturbates. It's sort of a house rule we're going to put on the refrigerator. So I mentioned drinking. I love to drink, and I love hanging out, and I love partying. But I also mentioned my age. Like, it's getting old. Like, I'm 13, so it's time for me to slow down. Because now when I get the whiskey shits, it lasts like a month. And it's time. But I used to party like crazy. Remember when you're in your 20s? Well, some of you guys are. And you have the one friend who parties harder than anybody. You know the dude I'm talking about? He's always got like a broken 12-pack box on his head. And he's just shirtless in the middle of the street in the afternoon yelling at cops like, fucking party! When you're in your 20s, you're like, that guy's awesome. But when you're in your 30s and your buddy's still shirtless yelling at cops, party, you're like, I guess that's cool, he's holding on to that. But when you're in your 40s or your 30 teens and your buddy is outside yelling at cops like, fucking party, you're like, when are you gonna die? From some sort of party-related accident. When is that scheduled? I just hate people that's all they talk about is partying. You know, it's one thing, do it on the weekend, but I hate people when they just talk about it all the time. And I hate that one expression, party like a rock star, so much. I hate that thing. I'd like to build a time machine for the singular purpose of finding the first douchebag who coined the phrase party like a rock star and pop out of the time machine right when he made it up and kick him in the dick as hard as I can. Because you know it happened in Orange County, right? Like 5 years ago. Couple of douchebags are having a douche off. And one guy says to his buddies, you guys, tonight, let's party like rock stars. And one of his buddies like, that's fucking awesome. And then you hear vermp, and I pop out of the time machine and go bink, and kick him in the ding-ding. And you know he'd forget what he was talking about. He'd be like, you guys, what was I saying before that dude that looked like Beaker from The Muppet Show? With pot tits and a professor beard. Popped out of a time machine and kicked me in my hoo-ha. I don't know, dude, but I fucking hate time machines. And Muppets. Here's what I think. I think if you guys are going to use the phrase party like a rock star, we as your friends should force you to be specific about which rock star you intend on partying like on said occasion, right? Like if you go, tonight, man, I'm partying like Bon Scott from AC/DC. Then it's like, be careful. That ends badly. If you know your AC/DC history or your AC/D-story, that dude died partying. So bring a spotter. Or if you go, tonight, man, I'm partying 90s style. I'm partying like Marilyn Manson. And what that means is you drink a bunch of absinthe and you tuck your wiener between your legs. And you dance around in a graveyard. And to you, I say, party on, Marilyn. But don't invite me to your fucking weirdo party. Because I will not respond to your Evite.